Welcome back to the pack, guys, and welcome to another week of Arena Watch podcast. What is it? Week 53. We got spells enhanced. We just got off of week 52 with the See and Below. No one's tuned in quite yet. I'm going to throw this on pack on air really quick. I'm going to throw the invite out for, I guess, our people here in the Arena Watch pack. All right, there we go. That's sent out. I'm going to put on my headphones. Hold on, guys. I'm just doing this all on the go. Had to emergency sit on the John. All right, is my picture coming up? Hold on, let me see. I'll have to pop out this. Don't switch. Okay, well, that aside, we did pretty well this week. Most of us, I think, on our matches that weren't autoed or something, we all did pretty decent. Let me throw the video up. The video's... Oh, it's already up. Great. My cam's not working. That's weird. Hey, there we go. All right. So that's working. I think we're almost live here. I just need to get the chat up. And looks like we do have Metazoa. I was going to ask him this week because I do not have the spell team he has. So let's just say that I'm a few gold nuggets short of purchasing that. Maybe next season. All right, looks like the video's frozen. I'll have to hover over the pack on air so it doesn't freeze. Oh, my video's frozen. Hold on. Okay, there we go. All right, we're live. Did we get the Celery to see this? Because I think I said 4:30. He should have been on. All right, but maybe not. But we're live, so we're good. So how'd we do this week, Meta?
Well, I had a perfect week where I lost 20 points solely due to the auto function that continues to have your arena team auto even if you were farming a PvE stage beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
So I lost 20 points in 2 different matches through the week. Both times to Drakima just immediately running up 2 tiles and getting one shot by Saber Cub.
Oh, how is your Drakima specifically fast? Why
No,
is he your first unit going up first?
He wasn't even really built for speed. I think I had the crystal orbs on him because I had dark crystal staff on someone else, I think. And my orbs have an extra plus 15 agility.
Gotcha.
So that'll do it.
Yeah.
I also didn't need to build my Saber Cub for agility this week. I think for me, I went with a grenade strategy. So it was heal slime using wartime more heal on grenade using muster strength. Then the next round, wartime more heal and grenade just goes in and kills 4 units.
Mm-hmm.
Sit down, Lily Joe.
A lot of fun.
So why not build agility on grenade though? So when you do bait, they come in, so he doesn't miss. Just in case if they're built with agility or they're fast or something.
So the great thing about this week was a lot of people didn't really invest in their C units. So for the most part, in pretty much all of my matches, there was no point where I was forced to take a match that might have been too difficult for that strategy. For the most part, I think the only things I had to worry about were the occasional Saber Cubs paired with whatever the red Saber Cub is called. And the agility stat that I had on him, because I'm pretty sure I had a jacket on him, made it so close that I really didn't have to worry about it, especially because Drakima was out there just snoozing any of the Cubs anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it was rolling attack on 2 clears 3 to 4 units, and turns 1 and 3 are just for kind of debuffing and cleaning up.
Gotcha. Let me see.
Just for kind of
One more?
debuffing and cleaning up.
That's good for
Get it.
music volume wise.
Donut, just one more.
There we go. Okay.
Still one.
So I opted for a different strategy. There was only really one team. I forgot. Was it our guild or somebody? One of my viewers. Why am I blanking on the name? I think it would have Banshee? Yeah, so that was YA Banshee. He actually built his with so much agility that he outsped me. I was shocked. The fastest C and below unit was at least built with agility was the archer. He hit 420. I think he hit 420 agility or something stupid like that with his archer. Yeah. So I had debate. And I did manage to kill the archer with magic, just so in my heart I knew I wouldn't miss. And everyone else too, I managed to bait, but it was very dicey. Like their cub was, I think their cub was slower than my cub, but their tiger cub might have been faster. Their Drachima was faster than my Drachima. I dropped a Hadler's Claw on my Drachima, and my Mage Robes has at least 5 agility on it. Like it's mostly wisdom, but it has 5 agility, and they outspeeded mine. I was just shocked. So I was like, okay.
So,
that was like
double-checked.
the riskiest team this week, probably. But I had 0 chance of losing, apparently, when I worked it out.
I double-checked. I realize now why my grenade had to be as slow as it was. I could only get my Heal Slime up to 245 agility.
Oh, shoot.
And I needed Heal Slime to go before grenade so I could get 2 attack ups by turn 2.
I couldn't go with a strategy like that then. I have to get the agility. I would have, if I was going to use grenade, I wouldn't have the Heal Slime, or I may or may not, right? But I would have, got the benefit on turn 2 and 3 at that point, because I would have built him with the inorganic claws. I did. I used him a few times this week to see what he could do, because it makes him fast enough while still retaining some damage, right? I tried. It works. I only had his rolling attack at +6, so it wasn't doing that much damage. It was like doing 400 or something damage on turn 1 without any muster or anything.
Nice.
So it wasn't bad. It was just I had better options for the week, because I was mostly just paralyzing people with burning breath on what's his face, and that wasn't even that good.
War?
Yeah, and it wasn't even that good. If I had taught any 4-move unit a burning breath, which I was not about, I'm already wasted my scrolls. But the second that we do get like a burning breath scroll to fit every weight category, like from I want someone with 4 movement, high agility in the S rank with burning breath. I want someone in the A rank, in the B rank, in the C rank, D rank, E rank, F rank, just so I could fit in somebody with burning breath for every weight category. It would be really nice. The only problem that I ran into with Man of War is that he had 2 movement, and that's it. So there are turns that I would had to bait instead of rushing in, because oh my goodness, did you see Canny Box his range with his sweet breath? It was pretty nasty.
Yeah. I did. I didn't even realize he had 3 move.
With the bloom he did, yeah. So
yeah,
it was
I
pretty
didn't
nasty.
even realize that. So I was doing some practice matches on day 1 when I was still excited about the week. And I went up against Cannonbox a few times, and I was like, oh, I'm safe. Only to have him sleep a unit and then come by and crunch it immediately afterwards.
With plus
And
3
that's
stacks
when
of
I
attack after you
decided-
sleep someone, by the way.
Yep, that's why I decided, no, I am not facing Cannonbox for the week. I will take pretty much anything else.
I would say he was like the second strongest unit this week for me, with his base kit, right? Like if I taught any other 4-move unit Sweet Breath, like if I taught Tiger Cub Sweet Breath, or if I taught anybody Sweet Breath, they would have been very nasty units this week. But because he was the one with it just by default, and yeah, 3 moves not that bad. And he is a debuff unit, so he's pretty nasty on defense too. So
and this week?
Yeah,
exceptional.
This week, exceptionally nasty. My team defeated. My team took out Shark Eye's team.
I remember they were talking about that in the chat.
Yeah, we were all talking about that in the chat. And what was it? Shark Eye. I was looking through his whole match, and the only chance he would have had was to risk a 2% crit because I had Elena Dagger on my Tiger Cub at the time. Just agility, right? Agility, attack, and frizz potency, and like the base crit that it had. So that got Tiger Cub pretty fast and still relatively strong. So basically, because Canny Box could reach the back tile, really only 4 tiles were safe from anybody, right? Like, because if you moved around any other units, you're in range of Drachima or you were in range of Tiger Cub at that point. So you had to risk somebody to either Drachima, somebody to Canny Box, or somebody to the Tiger Cub. So if he risked, he had enough HP on his grenade that if he risked that to the 2% crit, the Tiger Cub would have came down, the Saber Cub would have been up somewhere around there, and I think he could have rolling attacked on 3 units. He would have been able to roll both Cubs and the Canny Box, but it still would have been obviously dangerous, but less risk than taking a half res. I think it was half res Sweet Breath on the Ghost, and that's what threw him off. And then he tried to sleep Canny Box because he was trying to, at least have some chance to salvage something, right? And it didn't land. So it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. Then at that point, he just steamrolled his whole team. It would have been more than a 2% crit because then Draki would have came up with a Sizz, but he does have heavy Sizz res, the grenade. So if he took the hit from Tiger Cub and the Sizz crit, that might have killed him. So if either of those crit, he would have probably died. But those are decent odds, he would have been okay. But I seeing that is what made me realize that's the only way I could have lost this week, was against that exact same setup, forward position, with units that have like 5 range, and then Canny Box dead in the middle. Like, I could have easily lost to that team because where would I hide if they outsped me? And I had to risk one of my units to the sleep, just like he did, the Sweet Breath, or to a crit. There's just no way, But that didn't happen. Like I said, there was only one team that had that kind of agility, and the positioning was good enough that I could just bait on turn 1. So I was fine for that. But yeah, that pretty much sums up most of the week. I think, Celery, did you lose points too? You're here, right? Celery, Trop. Trop's just finished his match earlier.
Yeah, so I lost 4 points. That was definitely avoidable. I just, for some reason, I thought, Stump Chump is a support unit. He won't use his debuff. That's not how support units work, but that's how my mind was working at the time. Mm-hmm. And so he locked down my Saber Cub, which I even mentioned was an option in the podcast, but I wasn't thinking of defense. I was thinking of offense using Stump Chump that way.
Nocturne saying do the roar. Sorry. I was just going to say that. I don't know where he did that on one of my streams. He said do the roar, and I was like, where's this coming from? I don't know. Is that a meme? Is there for Marquis de Leon? I was narrating for I was reading over the story basically in character.
Oh, Jesus.
But there was no roar for Marquis, so I was like, he's like, do the roar, and I'm like, what? I did a roar, but it wasn't good.
Yeah.
right, go ahead. Sorry.
And yeah, so that ended up costing me 4 points because I didn't have enough damage with only basic attacks from Saber Cub to take out the team. And then the next day or later on in the week, I lost 8 points for unnecessarily risking a crit that did crit. I was trying to do my matches while I was on my way to work. I'd stopped for food and I was trying to do the matches, and I just didn't look at the range properly before I finalized my attack, and then immediately got crit, just like the Royal Reptile a few weeks back. Just I'm about to end this man's career type thing.
I didn't risk any crits this week, surprisingly, other than the test matches that I did. I did a few test matches and did poorly in some of those because I was being cocky and not doing, baiting when I needed to bait and rushing when I needed to rush, whatever. Locking down the CC and Oko kind of potential units. That's pretty much all you had to do. Like, even this week, I was giving C rank abilities credence. Like, physical C rank abilities, I was giving them credence because I was like, if that crits, and my units are built with agility, no HP, right? It's like, this candy box has like 430 HP. If that crits and hits like 442 even, he's dead. So I really couldn't risk it. Even some basic attacks could, kill somebody. So if you did have your physical,
Starscream lost points, didn't he, to the scrapper bots?
I have
just off of a physical attack.
Yeah. So like, even if you physical locked the cub, especially the cub, he's gonna kill somebody.
He's still basic attack for over 200.
Yeah.
If he crit, he would kill anything not built with HP.
I remember on my first few streams, I was building the cub, and then I was like, wait, I don't even need to give him the what was it, Ruff's claws, because he had so much damage on his other ability. I mean, that ability, that I was like, well, I'd rather just give him the golden claws, which have more agility and actually boost his other attacks too, like his basic attack if he needed to, really, or his I taught him Blizzard Rush, so it helped boost that ability. Am I having two musics playing at the same time?
For me, I used Okeanos on mine because I faced a lot of matches with Draki, and Draki was only hitting like 450. Mm-hmm. So I got my Saber Cub HP, and I mean 250 something agility is still more than enough for this arena. But I got my HP up to about like 970, just in case, so that I didn't have to feel bad. There was no worry about if I push against a Draki, is it going to one-shot my Saber Cub?
If it crit, right? Basically.
Yeah, and it wouldn't even be able to crit and kill him.
Dang. Yeah, I didn't. I just opted the other route. It would, I guess, both work in a sense. Like, if you were against Banshee's team, you would have lost.
Oh God, yeah. Oh yeah.
If you faced Banshee, but you weren't facing Banshee.
There was no point where I had to face a team like Banshee for any reason, except for doing practice matches. Thankfully.
Yeah. Or I mean, if you faced my team, even you could have lost. If it was those forward positions, there would have been a high risk for it. Yeah. But if I was baiting, so if I had my positions back, and you waited for me to come up, there would be a chance, your grenade would have missed against me. But at least there would be like a bunch of safe tiles for you. But if I had done my rush strategy, that was part of the reason why I was doing the rush strategy. I'm like, if anyone faces my team, it's going to make it a nightmare for them. I didn't want someone from our guild to do it. I don't want to cost us points. I mean, it didn't cost the guild in points, but like, that's a bunch of
Shark Eye points.
Yeah, that's a bunch of medals that he would have had this week that he lost on. I mean, it's not a lot. There's nothing good in the arena shop. It's so disappointing. Other than, again, buying the alchemy stones at this point is, honestly, it's just alchemy stones, because I'm not gonna finish the arena cat until he gets a blossom. I'm not going to get more than just this first Genie Sanguini I got. That's it for me. So.
Schwartz Knight is a good pickup though.
I've had him maxed.
Yeah.
I've had him and Halberd maxed for eons.
I love that unit so much. Oomph on a 50 weight that can actually like follow up and do things on turn 2. Fantastic, especially with Nightclubber's Blossom. Going to be fire.
Very good replacement for Bianca in a lot of applications for me. I have her, but having him max awakened and having crack, and that was a good option for sure on him. So.
And what was it? Heavy resistance on Frizz and Zam. Fantastic free-to-play unit.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Well, discussing this week now. Wait. Trop slid under the radar. How'd you do, Trop?
I wanted to finish my matches before going on, and I
Did you?
got -8 on the final match, so the streak is officially over.
Oh,
I think
shit.
that was.
Okay, I missed it because I
was
had to start the podcast. What happened? He doesn't want to talk. Like, what happened? Do I have to watch the stream?
Oh no, I'll say I was just kind of chatting in the Discord. Someone tagged me. But essentially, I don't know. I think I picked a tough team. I might have picked the wrong team. But I have it streamed. I was thinking about a way to do that without losing a unit, and I was close. I still had to risk some crits. But I should have built Ghost with HP. I got too cocky this week and just built it with more damage.
I would have. I mean, well, at least with my
no,
current
that's
team.
why I had the Dark Crystal Staff on. I had it on Ghost.
Yeah, I would have totally built him with. Yeah.
If he had 20 more HP, he could have survived like Slime. The enemy had like a
Scorch.
Slime fully maxed plus 10 Scorch, which is really weird to see on a Slime, but if I had plus 20 HP, I could have survived that with 1 HP.
Is there
Yeah,
any
streaks
other way,
of
like
shield.
if even if you didn't build differently, let's say you did your positioning differently or whatever, could you have survived that team?
I don't think so, because if I didn't go in then, I wouldn't have killed. What do you call it? I wouldn't have killed the candy box, and the candy box, just like all his other units, had plus 10 moves. So
Where was the
needed-
candy box? Was he in the forward position like he was for Shark Eye up against me, or?
for me, he was forward middle, so he already started me off with a bad.
Oh, that's the worst. That's
He's
the worst candy box position. That's the one that did Shark Eye in.
So I think I chose the wrong opponent, yeah, because the
Yeah,
opponent I chose
just avoid
took this
candy
week
box
very
teams,
seriously,
pretty much
and
is
had
what you
all their
need to do.
moves plus 10. So
So there was no safe tiles, right? Like there did you, let me load this up. There must have been like one spot that a unit would have to take up and he would be risking if he stayed back, huh?
no, I didn't have to risk it with anybody, but
No, if you went for the bait.
the positioning was very bad. I'm almost wondering if I should have risked the sleep, though. That would have been a bad risk, but just risk the sleep on someone to make my positioning better. But I don't know. It's tough. They had a Grenade with plus 10, a Cannon Box with plus 10s. Surprisingly enough, a Dancing Flame with plus 10 that they taught Flame Slash. Got that to plus 10. Whoever I was fighting was pretty invested in this week. More invested than me in a way. But,
Oh yeah, I'm looking at it now. Is this it? No, this isn't it.
Hey!
See, because it's for the last fight. It's it sucked getting bucket like that for the very last fight. I'm like, oh, I've almost made it through C and below week, and then I get that bucket, and I'm like, oh shit.
Okay, let's see.
Did-
Videos.
I should have invested in more units. Like I should have invested in Candy Box. If I did, I could have taken on another team. But I didn't want to invest in Candy Box just for the last match, and it
Only needed to
Cost me.
invest in Grenade this week. Perfect unit for the week.
I don't know. His cost was lower. So I'll say this about Grenade. You only had one ability to rank up on him. So for people that didn't have the resources, they could have gone for that. But
That's basically what I did. I've blown
but
everything.
yeah, the Blossom route was
rank
the better route to take this week. But yeah, if you didn't have the resources, for sure.
Yeah, I definitely did not invest anything for the week. I looked at Cannon Box probably like twice. I was like, you know what? He's so good this week. But you know what? I don't care.
No,
Same.
Boy, did that turn
Like,
out to be
I
a
didn't
mistake,
even-
huh?
Yeah, I didn't even bloom slime power node. Like I didn't. I used the Bodkin C rank, whatever.
No, he's
Bogger.
good. He's good though. Yeah.
Yeah, I left him. He's got his envenomating arrow at +4. I left it there. Like, I did not invest at all for this week.
But I realized just with the amount of play that I did, I wouldn't have had to make quite the investment that I made, and I still would have got a perfect week.
Yeah.
So it was more about having the right output, right? The right utility. I think Drachima and Canny Box together were invaluable. Specifically together, having enough units that could sleep together. Mana War wasn't that great, but again, if he's if that's your only option for paralysis, it's not bad because it's like you could, again, if they're in range of him, which they might not be, but if they are, you paralyze, and if they're not, you stay back, and that's pretty much what it was. So, and I would pull him out sometimes and test some other units out. So the paralysis wasn't absolutely necessary, nor was it always there. There was always a unit I could sleep on just about every team. There wasn't a unit that I could always paralyze on a team. So that
there
was
was
the big
like-
difference there.
There were like 8 like reasonably powerful units weak to sleep, and there was like
One.
1 weak to paralyze, the knight with the rolling attack. I don't know if there were any others.
Oh no,
honestly.
Bodkin Bowyer.
Bodkin
Oh,
Boyer.
Bodkin.
Yeah. I had to
Okay,
give
so
him...
there were 2. There were
the-
2 weak to paralyze.
The horrible thing is I'd have to give him agility to be able to paralyze Bodkin Boyer. And if they had given their Bodkin Boyer any agility, which, again, it was just Banshee. His was like at 420 or something. Then I wouldn't be able to outspeed him. But yeah, that was one of the times that I lost points on my test matches, was when my I didn't notice that the Bodkin Boyer was faster than my Mana War. So that's why I made the switch to give him agility. More agility, should I say. I took off the Slime Claws and I gave him Sorrow's Nails, which had a higher roll on them for agility. But that's about it. Yeah, anyways, going into this week while we still have time, so we don't go on this too long. What do you guys think of this this map? This is what's I guess that's on the... People have been staring at this map for a minute here. I don't think we've had this many pillars before, have we?
Bang week.
But this has like 2 extra, left and right. No?
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Like
I'm
Bang
pretty sure
week
you're right,
had
Joe. We can check the hub, can't we?
yeah, because I've seen something with the 4, pillars in the middle before like this many times,
Like
since like
Zam
the
Week?
first ever crack week had this. But I haven't seen that with the extra 2 pillars before. Not that I remember anyway.
Okay.
I don't think the pillars to the left and to the right there will make too much of a difference, because look where the starting positions are for the units. You can't even position. There's no...
There's not even anything that. I mean, I guess you could put like King Shi Slime in
Yeah,
Great
exactly.
Dragon's position, and then if the other team was lined up on that row, you could hit
like 2 units or something.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
so
could hit 2 units.
It's a possible position for
That's-
KSS, and that's about it. That's what it looks like.
But yeah, those on the left and right are not going to do a whole lot in probably 95% of the matchups.
So, what do you think about this this map though for Spell Week? Because I think a lot of spellcasters don't have quite that much range. If they had to stand behind I think yours would, right? With the Rapthorn, he could reach past those pillars there. But imagine a unit that is 1 tile ahead of. Is that a Spikegeist? Oh, this guy is a man after my own heart. So if someone was 1 tile above the Spikegeist, like you could put Rapthorn there, he could cast pretty far, right? And reach, I guess, the Stark there.
But
no,
Pack, you're forgetting
You're baiting.
the best unit.
Huh?
Hadler, who can reach through the pillars and hit through them.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just getting started, but yeah. So you have a few casters now that have that kind of insane range.
Yep.
So that's why I wanted to start with the map and the bonus this week. Take it away, though, Metazo, please.
Oh, I have been focusing on doing those tactical arena guides. I'm putting those up on my channel recently. So unfortunately, I have neglected the meta arena posts on Reddit. I'm sorry, everybody. But for the spell week this week, this is a great map for spellcasters, just straight up. I mentioned in the tag videos, the Voltron and control strategies are great here. Really, you can hold back your team. The AI will rush forward, and all you have to do is just clean up through the pillars. And those pillars work great as obstacles to kind of prevent them from getting to you effectively. That's about all I really have to say. I'm really excited for this week. I'm going to have a lot of fun.
Yeah, well,
Tengetsu's going to have a lot of fun.
At the very least, you're not writing the thing in the Reddit, but you're here to talk about it on the podcast. So at least we have you in that form for this week. I definitely I was going to throw an special shout out for Metazoa if he was available at this time. So I'm glad we have you just on your own. Let's see. The bonus is 40%, not 50%. That's still insane. So I think there's 2 main strategies that I thought of. Obviously, Voltron's off the table. But a lot of blitz teams, for me...
okay.
Blitz strategy works, right? Blitz strategy works, and then I would just bring, like, 2 A ranks. And those would be my spellcasters, basically.
Mom and Flazzard are both awesome units.
Yeah, but I couldn't. I can't with a blitz, not bait. So like,
Mom is fast.
She's fast. She doesn't have as far as range.
Pop. How about Pop?
I wish I had him. So
wait, you didn't pull Pop?
Yeah, I didn't pull Pop.
Oh no.
Time to use one of those tickets on him, and then
I was about to say,
My gen's back.
They gave you 10k gems for pop pulls.
They gave me 10k gems. That's how I saw it. They gave me 10k gems. But yeah, I would say Pop is a great unit this week. Obviously, Clary is a great unit this week. And that's what I would slot in for like an A rank as a Pop, a Claria, or a Vendor Ghost or something.
Mommy?
Those are fairly good options. So if you're running the Blitz team, you would throw a bunch of agility on one of those A ranks so they could keep up with the rest of your Blitz team and just rush them and kill them that way. It should still work fine. Again, if they have all mages and you could wipe out the mages, especially because, Dol Magus is going to get one shot by like just about anything. Mine is, anyway. So, for sure, I could see that working. And the other strategy is Metazoa's favorite strategy with a little bit of gold and a little bit of investment and a lot of gems. You could start to pull back and have some really powerful next gen mages in the game. You know, the latest generation of mages, which are very powerful.
I will also say,
stupid powerful.
a lot of people pulled for Jessica, and a lot of people have Dragonlord as
that's
well.
true.
Sizz Pillar and Dark Pillar are going to hit really nicely across that center area where you're going to get a lot of clog from units. And Jessica as well. That Crimson Fireball is going to hit like a truck. Mom also has follow-ups with her Sizz shots. So if something is in range, if you cleave it, you get another shot.
I suppose I could run that. But I couldn't run Voltron. But yeah, I could run that, maybe. That would be the budget version of... Yeah. I actually managed to get... Flazard, so... I got the inorganic Master Family rank going, so I'm happy about that. And he has a stupidly high wisdom cap, right? So in the future of the game, like the far future of the game, he will be like super powerful, right? Still, he will be.
I'm sorry, which unit?
Flazard.
I got offered.
His wisdom. Oh, nice.
Oh, God, yes, Flazard.
Once when like wisdom like starts getting higher and higher and higher and higher, he's gonna be stupid powerful. Still.
So here's the fun part about Flazard. His wisdom modifier on his spell is like 25%. That's the equivalent of like a C spell. Most of his damage comes from potency modifiers, which makes it kind of hard for wisdom increases to really increase his damage a whole lot. In comparison, most A spells, their wisdom modifier on the spell is like 90% or over. Flazard's is 25%.
It's not a lot, but...
borderline a martial skill. Just borderline.
Yeah.
If he would have gotten equipment, he would be absolutely amazing. I've been running the Dragonlord staff on mine, and it hits like an absolute truck. It's ridiculous. But 5 range on this type of map, without something like follow-ups, is a little bit harder to justify. It'll depend on if people are bringing a lot of
yeah, but if you're doing the bait stuff, then it could work. But mine is unawakened, so I don't know. Still could be good for bait. It's not bad, as you were calling it, control. What was the inspiration for the name Voltron? Because I've never, other than like, is that like a, what is that?
Term.
Is that a term?
I mean, the inspiration is
what
80s
Voltron is.
Isn't Voltron an Autobot or Decepticon? I have no idea. What is that?
I forget you're so young, Pac.
Yeah, Pack's a baby.
Yeah.
Think of it as a Megazord. It's the Megazord.
The Megazord from what?
From Power Ranger.
Power Rangers. Oh, okay.
That's not even.
I did see Power Rangers as a kid, but I can't even remember what it was about. Yeah, I'm still technically the cusp of what's considered a millennial. The cutoff, literally the cutoff.
But Voltron also got rebooted. It's taking a whole bunch of pieces together to make something that's basically unstoppable. I play a lot of card games. I made a card game. Voltron is also a term used in card games a lot for those decks that you make, where your entire goal is building up one specific thing to just demolish your enemy's team. Gotcha. So I use that because it's a fairly common strategy, especially with something like I mentioned earlier, the Nightclubber Bloom, which you can pull off with Giulianti, Nightclubber, and Schwarzhold. And all you have to do is bring Nightclubber's attack to 3, bring things within a fan range of him, and let him play whack-a-mole. GG.
Yeah, that's gonna be funny, especially on arena defense. But, I welcome it. I welcome that on arena defense. It won't slow us down.
Oh no, not in the slightest.
No. You're 1995. Yeah. Well, I'm 1990.
Yeah.
I'm 1995.
No, I thought you were younger than me.
No, I said 1995. I thought because I said I'm turning 27 this year, so.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
Understand
you're
me.
both.
Ha.
It's just
He's just more
old.
cultured than I am in the
I
geeky
grew up with
sense.
Power Rangers, and
I grew up with Power Rangers too. I just don't remember it. I don't know. Like I never got obsessed over it, so it's like I saw a lot of episodes of it.
You see, you didn't have that little autistic brain screeching Power Rangers in your PJs eating Cocoa Puffs in front of the TV.
No, I would take any cereal. I would take let's say Cheerios, and I would pour so much sugar in it that that the milk would turn translucent and shimmering almost. And only I would know that milk has this interesting property to it, that if you pour enough sugar, it starts becoming shimmery and translucent. Only I know this, because only I've ever done this. I did that to the point that it would no longer mix. I would put so much sugar in hot tea that wouldn't mix either. That's what I was doing as a kid. Yeah, but now I don't put sugar in anything. I don't know what happened. But yeah. So I was born in July, so I don't know. You might be older than me.
Just a little bit. I was born in May.
There you go. So I am still the baby of the... I do take that title. All right. But we have those strategies. Now we know what Voltron means. Or we know once again. Must have been in the far reaches of my memory. What do we have here? 225 weight. What kind of permutations could we get out of that, Celery?
225. Got two 50 weights, a 60 and a 65 for those people, who love running the tier list teams. They can run Jessica, they can run Dragon Lord, and then they can run two S ranks that probably don't synergize at all. Or you could run Duel and maybe Alina or something. Or not Alina, she's not 50 weight. Duel and some other, King She Slime. King She Slime's terrible on this map. But, Duel and, I don't know, Squid. Someone who can just be an obnoxious thing to hang back and charge forward. Duel and Great Dragon give you that extra cleave for when all things are bunching up. So you can do that. You can do one of my favorites of running 3 50 weight S ranks and 2 A ranks. That gets you to 220. You can run 3 65s in an A rank. Don't know any team that would really do well with that, but you could do it. You could run... That's pretty much it. So, the last one would be 4, which, Trop ran a whole bunch in the old days. 4 50 weight S's and a B rank.
I mean, I could do 2 A ranks, right?
Yeah, 2 A ranks and 3 50 weight S's.
Yeah, that seems like one of the options that I'm gonna go with again, because I don't have that many good mages in 50. I guess I could Blossom. It would be rushed, and I don't know if I'd have a lot of resources, but I could Blossom Valencia. She would work actually decently well on this map. And she gets... Her darkness hits harder because of her weapon, right? What's the difference between darkness and Kazam? What's the ratio there for the wisdom? And the base?
Darkness hits at a 0.99 versus Kazam's 0.9. That being said,
the base.
There's not really a whole lot difference. Mainly, she gets extra range on it, and she also has that crit, and that dagger can roll a ton of brilliance. is one of the big things. So you can roll 24 extra % brilliance on that dagger.
Yeah, so she's gonna hit really hard this week. That's an option. I just don't have the tomes to max out. I mean, there's some in the shop, so I could do that. And blossoming her would be expensive, and I couldn't put enough talent points on her. So I would just have to just invest on her normally, and then the talent points.
Put her on the put her in your auto team and just start pumping stamina.
I don't know. I don't know if I feel like doing that.
She has a battle road.
She does for leveling her up, but she was talking about the talent points. But yeah, I don't know.
There's also a whole bunch of codexes and stuff we get from talent.
Oh yeah, I've got so many. I looked at my codexes this week when I was very briefly considering caring about Arena, and I have like, I don't know, 20,000 points in codexes or something.
Yeah, you can get a bunch of those.
I haven't bought any from the shops except for the Silver Week shop when we had unlimited tokens. I haven't bought any of the other ones from the shops, and those are only the small 50 weight ones.
So
but I've got like.
Did you ever use your talent point codexes?
No.
Not even once. I did a few times, I think, early on especially, and like if I was trying to rush something
like,
for a certain
have I ever used them? I used maybe
I've used
maybe
half.
1,000 points worth or less.
I've used a lot more than that.
I have not used very much because I only used it for slime when I was doing Blossoming Door. I was trying to beat Blossoming Door that first month, and so I didn't want to wait till the next day to get more talent points on him. So I used some on that day, and then I think I used like 150-point tome on Dragon Lord True Form, so I could finish like his entire thing. I maxed out everything, and I had like 6 points left over. So I used one tome to get me to where I would only have 6 points left over. And I think that's mostly it. Like I haven't. And I think I used some on Stump Chump back when I was trying to figure out a strat for 38, which I ended up not using Stump Chump for, but I used some points there. But like I said, probably a total of maybe 1,000.
Okay, so yeah, that's not a lot. I've probably used more. Probably.
I dumped a ton of them into Gigantes when I realized I had him in time for the last A week.
Oh, A week.
Yeah, the last A week, which I think was our last 2-round week. And he worked perfectly for me. It was fantastic.
It's weird because I'm willing to like drop like 15k gold on a blossom for a guy just to make the battle road, just to auto farm something to max, and I won't do it for something else. It just makes no sense. I think I was trying to, what was it? It must have been the ghost battle road 8 or something. Yeah, I blossomed. There was the Bone Knight or whatever his name was in the B rank. I blossomed him to the point that I could just run it on auto and level up my guys there because I needed. I can't remember what I needed, but I needed those people. I think it was Fightgeist was like rank 6, and I put him to 7, and I needed him maxed for this week. I didn't even need him maxed for this week. I was just testing him out for fun. So I was just like, okay, I'm just going to run the battle road. I want it to go by faster. I don't know.
It's okay. I went 30k gems deep on a Flazzard that I haven't even gotten to use yet.
Why is that? Why is that? Why can't you use them?
The real reason is because in those 30k gems and trying to pull a 5-awake Flazzard, I managed to pull a 5-awake Dragonoid Baran.
Which you definitely underestimated because you were after the Flazzard, right?
Yeah, I was after the Flazzard. I was expecting maybe one Dragonoid, and he just kept coming on all of the guarantees. And then the tact points. And the paid banner. And Flazzard was just nowhere to be seen until like the very end.
Mm-hmm.
But I really underestimated just how much I can pump into that Doru Aura. And how much damage that can really do. And how much I really needed a unit that could do unreflectable damage as well.
He's a 50 weight Sorrow Bane Sword. Slower, but
kind of. His Doru Aura hits a little bit harder when comparing to neutral damage from Bane Sword, but Bane Sword can hit brilliant.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
he has a bigger AoE, right, with the Doru Aura versus
it's slightly larger because it's a fan instead of a large T.
Yeah.
I like it though. I actually the DDB sword that we got from the die event, I managed to roll plus 7% potency 3 times on it, and I was like, you know what? Let's try it out. And suddenly I was able to push that damage into the 1,000 range, and that was a lot more than I was expecting.
Yeah.
A lot more than I was expecting. And so these comps that I had with Flazzard, that was the reason I pulled on that banner at all, kind of ended up wilting away under, hey, here you go. Tact works in mysterious ways.
Which, I mean, the Dragonoid Baron is a pretty perfect unit for the Voltron strat, especially weeks like this with the layout where everything gets funneled towards the middle.
Especially because attack is so easy to increase, especially when compared to something like Wisdom. And the more potency you can drop on him, the better it does when you just add more attack.
Yep.
I was surprised the difference between Flail and the sword with potency. I was expecting a small difference. It ended up being almost 150, 200 in arena difference.
Yeah, well, yeah, because it's a spell. Like, even though it's scaling with attack, it's not. Yeah, that's something to remember whenever you're looking at boosting. Like, Wisdom doesn't do much relatively. It's a flat, give or take based on the modifier, unless it's Flazzard, 1 damage per Wisdom. Like, that's not a lot, and you're only getting plus 50% from your level 10, and then maybe, plus 30% more, give or take, on potency and stuff. So your Wisdom is only getting boosted by like 1.8, 1 point, maybe double. You're getting 2 points of damage per Wisdom. Whereas, if you're giving Nocturnus, like, what is it? Every 2 attack gets you 1 extra point of damage.
Yeah.
And then your attack, like Devil's Finesse, is hitting for 550%. So every 2 attack is giving you 5.5 points of damage instead of, like, it's a pretty significant difference compared to the spell boosts when you're comparing the Wisdom and attack, and that is how Dragonoid Baron scales. Is he scales as if his attack were Wisdom, not as if he were, using an unreflectable, unmissable attack that would usually be a percentage damage.
Yep. That being said, pushing to 3 attack is very easy on him and adds an extra 200 something plus damage.
Yep.
So, in a fan, hitting 1200 damage is absolutely insane in the arena.
Yep.
This week, yeah.
Yeah,
This week is going to be crazy.
Compared him to Vera, which he hits the larger area. He can't miss. He's tankier. He has a lot of upside compared to an already very strong unit.
I'll also go on record. I trashed Dragonoid quite a bit and called him a don't bother. for the most part, unless you're trying to pull for a spell team. Please save yourself. But no, this unit's worked out perfectly, and honestly, part of it was Avery too, because I was like, oh no, oh, I wanted Flazzard. How did this happen? And she looked at it and she was like, oh, it's perfect for your team. Run it. And I was like, what? I mean, yeah, but like, no, but like, yeah. And she was like, no, run it. And I did. And I saw the numbers, and
She wasn't the only one
Math
saying
don't
it, but
lie.
yeah.
Yeah.
You could probably
Yeah, then,
you could search it in our chats, and it's somewhere there. Someone probably mentioned it.
for Avery, it was like the second, because the content dropped, and I think it was Duke.
Because I was saying it before the content dropped, so I don't know.
Oh,
But you have to see those numbers.
I didn't even have Dragonoid on the brain before the content dropped.
You had
I was like,
Flazered. You were saying Flazered, and I'm like, well, if you do get Dragonoid, but at that point, you know, for you have to see the numbers in the game, not on paper, for you to believe. You're
Yep.
doubting Thomas, so.
I mean, I also saw the numbers on the wiki, and I did the math, and it was like, originally I was looking, I was like, oh, it can hit like 900 top in arena, like if you max and like do everything. I was like, that's good, but like I'm not gonna try and pull for that. And then it happened, and suddenly I could like Voltron this and push it so much higher than what I thought I could.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that 900 was like a one awake or something. Like that wasn't.
No, it was from the Japanese wiki, plus 10 skill, with flail.
Is that
Yeah,
so?
but it
That's
wasn't
what
a
yours
max.
does then with flail.
Yeah, plus 10 skill, max awake with flail.
Oh wow, it was.
Yeah, and that's why I was looking at it. I was like, oh, so like the upper limits of this damage is like 900 at the highest. That's all right. But no, I was proven wrong. The unit for spell teams is absolutely exceptional. He still has the weakness of weak to confusion and bang, which is why I wouldn't recommend him for something like Guild versus Guild, just because Baramos trashes him. But Zap and Zam is pretty common among Dark Lords, so I'm swimming in heavy resistance for Zap and Zam with nobody to really let soak damage on, but he has Dragon Scale and 20% damage res as well, so like, I mean, every time he gets hit, he heals for 157.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pairing him with Hadler for me was absolutely amazing in the previous week. It even got me to the point where I was looking at it, I was like, it's going to come to a point where between Corvus, Dragonoid, and Hadler, I might not even need to run Domagus. And
Yeah,
it got me thinking and looking at these different comps, and like before I had been looking, I was like, oh yeah, if you're going to run something like Control or something like Voltron, you need Domagus. But then I started looking at it and I was like, I mean, depending on the map, of course, you don't really need him. He's very good, but he's not necessary for those comps. And I started looking at it, and I started like crafting and building and testing out some different stuff, and he's exceptional. He's absolutely an amazing unit. If you have the gems, pull for Domagus, get him to 1 awake. He's awesome unit. He will treat you very well.
Mm.
But even for like the Control and Voltron comps, while he's absolutely exceptional, I used to think it was the only way to get it to work, but now I'm starting to realize it's not. It's not. It can work in so many different ways. I'm very excited about that. You just need really, really tanky units, and to look at how those resistances really match up with your opponent and kind of push forward like that. And we're starting to get a lot of those units coming in over time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I mean, yeah, we've got the Corvus with Corvus Demon Form with 100% evasion. We've got Corvus Fallen Angel with ignoring anything less than a third of his health or something like that, or 30%.
30%, slightly less than a third.
Then we've got like every single dragon and his mother is getting dragon scale with Bloom or with 5 Awake. So,
including apparently the new Dark Lord from Dragon Quest X.
Oh yeah, the Dark Lord has dragon scale at 5 Awake.
At 3 Awake.
Oh, at
The
3
lady.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody who's played 10 can figure that one out for me, but that one just seems
she's
a little...
a hero who turns into a Dark Lord or something. She has that like darker side to her.
Yeah, she even has dragon scale.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I made a comment recently that we'll be eventually able to just make a guild defense where you just completely negate area damage. The cleave type tactics will be practically useless. You just have 4 dragon scale units with the Seraphim
you
in
have
the middle.
a negates dragon scale. You'll have an attack that negates dragon scale, and then they make a thing that negates a thing that negates the thing. That's basically what they are doing in this game, though. If you see the trajectory that they're on. No?
I actually thought it was hilarious because when I was using Dragonoid and I was testing with him, and I'd go up against stuff like Dragon Lord's True Form, and I'd use the fan, I'd look at it and be like, wow, that's like a 40% chance to do 80 extra damage because he doesn't heal half of it back.
Yep.
Because it's crazy. They include like spell reflect in the game, and then immediately, not too long after, they're like, okay, this bursts straight through spell reflect. It's like, okay. And then,
conveniently the same element that the spell reflect unit is weak to.
Yeah.
To be fair, that was a nasty drop for JP, but for us, we got blooms at the same time, and that also just kind of we didn't
Sorrow
need it at
irrelevant.
that point.
Yeah. But it's just interesting, because you have unreflectable spell damage with D Bodon, and you also have it with Sorrow Bane Swords. So it's going to other units, and obviously spell reflect is going to other units too. But it's just hilarious. It's just hilarious that they're including utilities, and then to deal with that, that kit they make a new kit that deals with the kit.
Yeah,
we got
and then they're gonna keep doing that
with unavoidable attacks. One of his attacks ignores evasion.
And then there's gonna be an ability that ignores
Devil's
evasion
Fist.
eventually. There's gonna be an ability that ignores evasion. I mean,
There
spells
is.
already
Demon
already do.
Oh.
Technically, spells already do, but like,
Yeah, and Demon Form Corvus has has his catastrophe ability, his Sizz Devil's Finesse with 8 hits, ignores evasion.
oh, so he doesn't even have to build agility anymore, just attack. Sorry, agility.
Apparently.
Just attack, huh? Interesting.
We don't know exactly if it ignores evasion or if it always hits, but I mean, regardless, it's still also 8 hits.
Yeah, that's crazy. Except against the other, the Corvus, who's like, okay, if you don't hit above this certain amount of damage of my HP, I don't take any damage.
Hopefully, but he's also weak to Sizz.
Oh, okay, so never mind.
Yeah. He resists Bang and Zap and is weak to... Speaking of which, we need some good Zap units. Like, DQ9 has Grey Gnarl, but...
Yeah, Grey Gnarl's pretty solid. His breath his fan breath, both of his breaths, because he's the one that also has the Dragon Lord True Form type breath attack.
Yep.
And they're both like that one is the strongest breath attack, depending on modifiers. I don't know what
265
modifiers
base.
we're doing. And then the Zap one is like 4th strongest breath attack. It's the strongest fan breath.
Yep, 170 base over the traditional 120 base.
It's interesting how the new it was a Grey Gnarl. He has Frizz and Zap.
Yeah.
So he basically does what at 5 Awake. He does all the things that a blossomed Dragon Lord's True Form does, but he also has Zap. and a little,
Hey,
a
hey,
lot
hey,
more
hey.
damage.
Trop's Dragonlord True Form knows Zapple, okay?
Okay, there.
They're
Okay,
basically
sorry.
the same unit.
The base. They are the same.
Basically
Unit.
the same unit. Doesn't even need to pull for him.
Yeah, they are dragon scales. They have the same range. They have everything's the same. So I don't know why you're saving for him, Trop. Just
I mean, Zap
ready.
Dragon also has Zap Force.
Oh yeah,
For-
that's true.
All of those
Yeah,
other
To
so
power
good
up
Zap units.
Dragon Lord True Form Zapple.
Okay, so what did we miss for this week? We talked about the permutations. We didn't talk about the units, other than like the strategies, other than how they relate to the strategies. So counters, picks. What's your team? What are you actually bringing? What are others going to ultimately end up bringing? How do you counter that? How do you counter the hard stuff? Counter the counters, etc., etc., etc.
I mean, this is just the fan breath. With the way the starting positions are arranged, you can send one up the middle. You can send one up each side, moving in towards the middle with 3 move, and you just overlap all of those positions except for the back 3 blocks for fan damage. So that's incredibly powerful. Being able to also send duel up for pulling something into position, for just extra damage, that as long as you're taking out the spellcasters with no risk. So that's what I'm planning on doing. I am, let's see, with I'll probably be running I might even do my own challenge with no spells. I might not. We'll see. But I think just the fan breath blitz comp is going to be real strong, with duel in there for some extra damage and positioning help. I mean, I expect to see a lot of Dragon Lord. People love running Dragon Lord, and even more so when it's spell week.
Nocturnus and Elena.
Always Nocturnus and Elena. Yep, those heavy hitting spellcasters right there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's I don't feel like Jessica has been terribly common. Maybe we'll see her some, but
I saw her pretty frequently on the hero weeks. I did a lot of matches on the hero weeks though, so I mean.
Yeah. So that's yeah. I think having like Jessica or Dragon Lord available for just one-shotting Elena. You don't have to do the clever confusion this week, because that spell boost is going to guarantee the one-shot. If you're hitting.
You might even be able to one-shot Elena with Tortured Soul this week too.
Yep. Yeah, Tortured Soul, especially if you're not running the control lineup, then only sacrificing 35 weight with Tortured Soul, or probably Tortured Soul would be the best option. Thinking maybe Vendor Ghost as well. Could probably hit hard enough with Kazam.
Vendor Ghost can also stun Nocturnus too.
Yep.
Because every week somebody's going to bring Nocturnus. He's always going to show up every week.
A lot of people are going to bring Nocturnus. Is at least until a few months after. Bainsword. Yep, that's been there was months where a Stark was in a ton of arena teams, and then Nocturnus has been in ever since he came out, and I expect Bainsword to be in a bunch of teams when he comes out. So, but yeah, I think that's a really good strategy if you're not running the control, just trying to set that minimum weight aside for dealing with Elena. So Tortured Soul and Vendor Ghost are excellent in terms of that. Nocturnus, you probably are still going to need to hit twice. I'll say I will bet that Jessica's Fireball will one-shot. Because she usually hits about 1,400 on a normal unit. Brilliant. She hits about the same as Dragonlord Trueform's Breath. And so even reduced by 20% and then increased by 40%, expect she'll have enough to one-shot most Nocturnus and bring even the very high Awakened ones down very low to where anything will two-shot it. Anything neutral or better will two-shot it.
Which, like you were saying earlier, we have all those fans to overlap this week. So something like a Crimson Fireball followed up, or Great Dragon's Ice followed up with a Crimson Fireball would probably be enough. Almost assuredly be enough.
Yep.
Of course, always watch out for Spell Reflect units. Schleiman Tank at 3 Awake Plus gets Spell Reflect. Mortimer has Spell Reflect. Zaro has Spell Reflect. On the off chance that for some reason they run Christmas in this week, I don't think they will. I think they'll probably give it another week. Santa Elena has Spell Reflect. Am I missing anybody?
The arena powerhouse blossomed Wartorse.
Oh, right. If you see that, don't even worry. That's a free 128. Yeah. There's a lot of units that have Spell Reflect. Don't cleave into them. It's a bad time. And watch out if you're using Baramos while cleaving into a Spell Reflect unit, because he can end up killing himself with a Compressed Kaboom to the face.
Yep.
That is from personal experience. That happened to me on the Spell and Bang week. I used the Fan Breath on a Zaro during one of my practice matches and watched him blow himself up with a Compressed Kaboom crit. And I just died laughing. It was the best thing ever.
That's really funny.
Outside of that, Hadler, if you see him, he's weak to Wushin Zam. Dragonoid Baran is weak to... Oh, regular Baran, also weak to Wushin Zam.
So I don't know what I'm going to be running this week. I have no idea. I might do that rush
I will
blitz
say...
strategy that I mentioned earlier, or I could do, I guess, bait. So I think last week, the only thing that I realized after the fact that we were done with the podcast that I missed was to warn people, because I did warn them, that HP wasn't boosted and that damage wasn't decreased. So, like, to respect the teams, respect bots and whatnot. I forgot to mention to respect bots and teams. I did say the things. And I also forgot to mention the map had places in the back that were unreachable for certain units. So that could have been like a possible potential problem, was tiles in the far back. But, 3 turns helps with that. So is there anything you think you guys that we've missed? Just go with what we've gone over so far.
I want to say that if you're running the Martial comp and you have Vera this week, sending her straight at the middle looks like it's going to be really, really awesome.
Oh,
Just
okay.
because she has pretty much a perfect T going straight down the middle.
Mm.
I realized that right towards the end when we were starting to talk about a little bit of the fan stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Her with Marquis, or really just her with Dole, her with anyone, she can, especially since a lot of people will probably cluster around the center, you can probably get a good 3 to 4 hits with a hard Vera hit right off the bat.
How hard would your Bodon hit with Beastmaster Claw if he was where Dolmagus was right now?
With Beastmaster Claws,
Out of curiosity.
I would be running him as my leader, so he gets plus 20% attack as well, because there's no good spell up leaders,
Mm-hmm.
because aiming hates spells.
Mm-hmm.
I say with 2400 damage in arena spells, he would probably be hitting normally high 700s, low 800s with a fan.
So 400% more. I mean, 40% more than that is like, that's pretty good. Like if you could technically rush with Bodon now. You could do blitz.
Yeah,
with
I
a
could.
Demonoid Bodon.
Or I can put
Dragonoid.
a sword on him and hella armor, and Miam like big numbers make serotonin go burr.
But you consistency.
Yeah, consistency. Consistently, they'll run up to me, and I get to watch a giant number go up on my screen. It's great. I love it.
She said she was gonna use the potty. Yeah, use the potty, but she didn't.
All right. Well, the only person that's been really quiet the whole time is Trop. Anything you might want to add? Are you perhaps playing by the rules this week, Trop? If you're still there, you could be playing Xbox.
Elden Ring.
No, he's done with that. He's been done. I don't know what he does now that he doesn't have Elden Ring. Unless if he's doing like different builds and other things with Elden Ring, because I don't know. He doesn't stream it, so
It's okay to
I
pee,
just
but
assumed he would have been done.
you gotta use the potty. Yep, no more diapers for you, unless you're gonna go back to diapers.
Nope. I guess
really
he's
hope
not
that's
here. He's
Celery.
really not here. Yeah, that's
That
Celery's.
Celery's mic going
yeah,
off?
his kids and his wife. Where's? Yeah, I guess Trop's not here. Tropical Visions. Maybe I just gotta say his name on air instead. No, kidding. It sounds a lot like what Rocky Balboa shouts. Amen. Amen. Okay. Is there anything we've missed though? What do you guys think Trop's going to run? What is Trop going to? Let's channel our inner Trop, because I was going to channel our inner Metazo if we didn't have you today. But let's channel our inner Trop. What is he going to run this week?
Dragons. I legitimately, I don't think I've seen his comp change in like at least a month. I'm pretty sure it's the exact same 5 unit every time I run into it. And then I get to record it, and he looks at it, and he's like, "You killed my team in 1 round." I'm like, it's the same 5 units every time.
Yeah.
And they're always placed really far up.
And aiming's given us really good units that are like perfect keys to taking out certain things. So like trouble I used to have with Trop's team is like entirely gone now. Like any trouble I used to have facing Trop's team is gone. Like especially since Dole, maybe even before Dole, I was able to get 128s on his team. The game had just given us so many pieces to the puzzle,
Yep.
for dealing with those high, those Blossom teams or whatever. But yeah.
Just like I don't want
Any
I think that's about it.
That's about it. Everything. That's there's these little plus sign shapes. That's good for what missiles? For the gem slime or something. I don't know.
Extreme explosion.
Extreme
spell?
explosion. Yeah. Or Nocturnus could technically do pearly gates on all 4 of those units in the middle right now.
Yeah.
There's gem slime would work. Holy crap, gem slime would actually work pretty well this week. He's just
It's
slow,
okay.
right?
Trop can't hear it because he left, so I guess he'll be gem slimeless again.
But like gem slime is he's slow, right? So
I
very-
have no idea.
yeah, so
I
you just
didn't
have to
pull him.
bait or something. But yeah, you could build HP and then you already have the damage. I feel like a lot of spellcasters this week, if you're going, since you already have 40%, you probably don't even need the extra wisdom and this and that. You could just be tanky or fast or whatever you need for whatever comp. You could obviously just
worry.
hold back and get those
I'll
high
let you
numbers.
know how high those numbers go this week.
Can you explain to us what happens when you kill a unit deader than dead, please?
The happy chemicals in your brain go absolutely crazy.
Hmm. He's one of those anime girls going, oh.
Yeah, that's me.
And there's a sadist and a foot fetish somewhere in there too. There has to be
Somewhere.
Okay, we've gone on for long enough. I think I always get to the end of the thing and I'm like, we're missing something, and I shut off the camera, and that's when I always realize when it is. So I don't know what else we could point out about the week. Anyone in the comments have any questions? Arena Cat's gonna be fast. I just realized that. He's fast
yeah.
and he's powerful. So he doesn't even build him with HP and he'll rush people and kill them.
And Nimzo.
Is Nimzo fast?
I don't know, man.
He's
You
like
know I stopped
195
looking
or some 395.
You know I stopped looking at agility a long time ago.
That's so weird, man. I can't.
Dude, it's great. Like, honestly, since swapping over, Arena has become so much more fun. I used to be so stressed trying to do blitz strategies.
I don't know. Blitz so consistent. I guess yours works too. So there's that.
Yeah, control's really consistent too, because I mean,
It used
really
to
it's
not be
just
because you couldn't
understanding
get
that everything
units
just-
to move up sometimes. Sometimes
What?
enemy units just wouldn't move up back with the old AI.
Yeah, that was something.
And
Back when
now
they
they
just-
like to move around units instead of through them, so that's fairly annoying as well.
Yep, you lost points to that, right?
Yeah, that was my fault though. That wasn't that. That was something else.
Because they stealth changed. I
Yeah, that
remember
is-
Nocturne was talking about it too, because he was trying to do some PvE content, and
Yeah, for him
suddenly
it actually
everything
happened. For him
changed.
it actually happened. For me it was something else. I think he was trying to line himself up with the other unit that was weak to his type or whatever. Something like that. So if I had my units positioned a bit differently, he would have gone straight rather than to the left.
Yep.
Maybe.
Yeah, that is.
The only other time I saw that
something
AI
that,
was a metal dragon.
Fine.
It took one less step than it could have, and I was weirded out by that. It could have stepped a lot closer, and it didn't. So it's been around for a while, but I don't know.
You can also stop units from advancing forward by placing evil squares.
Yep.
Or evil spaces.
Yeah, they like
one's a lot of
walking around it or through it, but you have to attack a unit to do that. And if evil spaces will move around if covered. So you could have an evil space here and then one way up
Wait,
here.
do they really?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. I
So
love that.
if someone's covering it, the evil space actually lands on him instead of where it would have gone. So you could have like the evil space rows here, and then the covered units way up here. So this space is missing, and it's put here instead. So you have two
Oh, I
here
love
and then
that.
one,
That's
one there.
hilarious.
Yeah. So interesting stuff. Anyways, I think we've gone on for long enough. Thank you guys for tuning in, and thank you for Metazoa for showing up this week. We greatly appreciate the insight for mages. Be sure to check out his Reddit posts. He also posts about, his YouTube videos that he's been doing lately, his new Tactical Arena Guide series. He's producing, should I say, a lot of content in regards to the basics of Arena, and I think as time goes on, he might go into perhaps more intermediate, because it's like the basics is all you really need. A lot of people are missing out on just the first 2 videos he even put out. Like I think 90% of the players are missing that from their teams.
It was the type of thing that, like, I surf Discord, and I recently joined the Facebook group, and I saw a whole bunch of these, what we look at and we're like, oh yeah, obviously, occasionally it's 40%. And I go back and I use my memory, I'm like, oh yeah, no, that used to not be intuitive in the slightest.
Yeah,
so I cover some of the basic things about the game, as well as some of the progression things and kind of what you do as you advance through Arena. And as I get finished up with the basics, I'll go over some of the intermediate and some of the better stuff. And eventually I'll start doing cool unit reviews and stuff like that.
He articulates clearly and concisely and definitively, let's say, all the aspects that are relevant to Arena, which we just do subconsciously while playing the game. I might be streaming. I provide commentary as it happens, right? But that's a lot to get through. Like, if you're watching my stream, it might be like a 45-minute, or it could be a 15-minute. It really depends. Stream, and that principle might not come up, so I might not talk about it. But having it all in one spot, I think, is very nice. And yeah, look out for more content from Metazoa. I don't know if you're gonna still be posting for, like, say, next week or the week after that for your preview for each arena week. What do you call that?
The Metazoa Meta Arena posts.
Yes, the Metazoa Meta Arena posts and that you'll find those on Reddit generally, like a day or two maybe before a week drops, something like that.
Generally. Usually on Saturdays, sometimes on Sundays.
So sometimes day of. Okay, so it's usually day before or day of. Yeah, so be sure to check those out. Anyways, guys, thank you for tuning in. I'm the Pack. This is Celery, Metazoa, and Trop's Ghost. Tropical Visions. Anyways, thank you for tuning in. If you want to join the pack with the pack, go ahead and subscribe down below. If you like this video, then like this video. If you have something to say, write it down in the comments down below. If you want to support the Arena Watch podcast and the Arena crew, go ahead and share our videos, share this video. If you want to see more from Arena Watch podcast, hit that bell icon for notifications, guys. This ain't Twitch. Join Kage's gaming Discord server for all the best underground DQT conversations. And join my server for all the best DQT guides. Anyways, guys, it's been the Pack signing out. Peace.
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 Oh.